The confirmed number of cases of the coronavirus in Los Angeles County today comes to 59,650. The confirmed number of deaths reaches 2,531. Here in Torrance, the total number of confirmed cases is 410, with total confirmed deaths at 46. Welcome to COVID-19 Today. I'm Ben McCain. It's 4 p.m. on Thursday, June 4th. The city of Torrance, in line with the county of Los Angeles, announced the end of the curfew today. City officials thanked the community for their patience while the curfew was in place. While demonstrations continue to take place throughout the county, most have been organized and peaceful with little to no violence or crimes committed. A peaceful protest was held at Miramar Park this afternoon. In an effort to assist local law enforcement during the civil unrest, military members were deployed to Torrance this week. Nearly 24 members of the Air National Guard 144th Security Forces Squadron out of FRESCO were on the ground Tuesday and Wednesday, securing the perimeter of the Del Amo Fashion Center. This allowed more Torrance police resources to be available to the community. The California National Guard is a federally funded state military force comprised of both Army and Air National Guard components. The death of George Floyd inspired a global movement over the past 9 days, and today Floyd's family and friends gathered for a first of a series of memorial services scheduled to honor Floyd. It was held at North Central University in Minneapolis. Next, a public viewing and private memorial service will be held in Rayford, North Carolina on Saturday, where Floyd's sister lives. And finally, a public memorial and private service to be held in Houston, his hometown, on Tuesday, June 9th. Since Floyd's death, all 4 police officers involved have been arrested and formally charged. Derek Chauvin was charged with second-degree murder and manslaughter. The 3 others face aiding and abetting second-degree murder and aiding and abetting second-degree manslaughter. The NAACP, the nation's oldest civil rights organization, hosted a virtual town hall yesterday encouraging Americans to channel their anger into action to change the relationship between policing and race. The organization called for a national day of mourning and for a moment of silence for 8 minutes and 48 seconds at 12:45 p.m. this afternoon. California Governor Gavin Newsom signed an executive order to give voters several opportunities to cast their ballot come November 3rd. In this executive order, Governor Newsom modified rules for in-person voting in the 2020 presidential election. Now counties will be required to hold at least 3 days of in-person early voting beginning on Saturday, October 31st. It also mandates ballot drop box locations to be available beginning October 6th through November 3rd. Voters will also find at least 1 vote by mail ballot drop-off location per 15,000 registered voters. Counties will also be allowed to consolidate voting locations with at least 1 voting site per 10,000 registered voters. Polling places open for early voting would be open for at least 8 hours each day up to Election Day, and the hours on Election Day to be set for 7 a.m. until 8 p.m. This move follows an executive order signed in May requiring mail-in ballots to be sent to all California voters in the general election. Millions of Americans continue to seek financial assistance after losing their jobs due to COVID-19. According to the weekly U.S. Department of Labor report, nearly 1.9 million people applied for unemployment throughout the United States just in the last week alone. This is the 9th straight week in a row that applications continue to come in since the COVID-19 health pandemic began. The total number of people who are now receiving jobless aid rose slightly to 21.5 million, which suggests companies are beginning to rehire. Now, since mid-March, 42.7 million people have applied for unemployment benefits. Since the start of the health pandemic, Los Angeles County reports a spike in calls placed to the domestic violence hotline. Officials say calls have more than doubled since the COVID-19 crisis began. Los Angeles County Board of Supervisor Hilda Solis said at the beginning of the year, the call center received anywhere from 100 to 150 calls per week. But since the Safer at Home order went into effect, calls have nearly doubled in the last 3 weeks. Officials say several contributing factors have led to the rise over the last few months, naming isolation as one of the main reasons, along with increased stress from both the virus and the economic downturn. There have also been reports of increased alcohol consumption during the pandemic, which is also a contributing factor leading to violence. Officials urge victims of domestic violence to reach out for help. The Los Angeles County hotline is 800-978-3600. The phone lines are open 24 hours, 365 days a year. You can also find resources for shelters online. Go to the Department of Public Social Services website at dpss.lacounty.gov. A 5.5 magnitude earthquake out of Ridgecrest, California was felt by many here in the Southland around 6:30 last night. The trembler was followed by a series of aftershocks. Now, this is a great reminder to the community that an earthquake could happen at any moment, and a plan should be in place in the event of a major disaster. Now, in preparation, according to the American Red Cross, everyone should have at least 1 gallon of water per person per day, up to a 3-day supply, which is recommended for an evacuation. A 2-week supply is recommended if you stay in your home, and don't forget about supplies for your pets as well. You should stock enough non-perishable foods that are easy to open and prepare for you and your family. A first aid kit, a medication, a flashlight, batteries, a multi-purpose tool, personal hygiene items, cell phone charger, copies of personal documents, emergency contact information for family members, extra blankets, a change of clothes, along with extra cash. The American Red Cross says being prepared is the key to surviving a disaster. You can get more information at redcross.org. After closing their doors for several days following civil unrest throughout Los Angeles County, the Del Amo Fashion Center opened to the public today at 11 a.m. Shoppers will find they are limited entrance points to the mall as a precautionary measure. While the mall did open, their hours are limited, with the mall closing shortly at 5 p.m. Simon officials say they appreciated the city's efforts in ensuring the protection of the mall since the weekend. Now, since the mall was allowed to open more than a week ago, they've increased emphasis on cleanliness, including enhanced sanitization and disinfecting, making protective masks, sanitizing wipes, and hand sanitizing stations available for all shoppers. Now, if you're not quite ready to head back to the mall, you can still take advantage of curbside pickup services. That's available in nearly 24 stores at Del Amo. Some include Barnes & Noble, Macy's, Anthropologie, Crate & Barrel, Dick's Sporting Goods, Joann's, and Nordstrom, to name a few. Check out Del Amo's website at simon.com. Well, the city of Torrance continues to work towards reopening more public counters. Staff continues to install floor decals at various locations throughout the city. You'll see these blue stickers on the ground to help the public keep a safe distance apart while waiting in line. Plexiglass sneeze guard shields have also been installed at various public counters, including the City Hall lobby, the City Clerk's office, the Community Services West Annex counter, as well as the Office of Cable and Community Relations. The city reopened the Permit Center a week ago and had a positive response from the community. The city hopes to reopen more counters as soon as each office's safety protocols and measures are met. City departments are working on an effort to help local restaurants boost their seating capacity in downtown Torrance. The Torrance Community Development Department, Public Works, and the Office of Economic Development are working on a proposal to present to City Council on how local restaurants would be able to offer alfresco-style dining experiences to increase in-dining capacity by adding tables and chairs outdoors. The proposal includes allowing outdoor dining in places like parking lots, streets, parks, and plazas to boost seating capacity while adhering to social distancing rules. This innovative program is hoping to support restaurants that may find it difficult to survive at only 60% capacity, which is what is currently allowed indoors. Restaurants in downtown Torrance that are now open for in-dining service include the Depot, La Capella, Red Car Brewery, Madres, as well as the Local Kitchen. Many are still only able to offer takeout and delivery options while they get safety protocols in place. They hope to be ready to bring back guests very soon. A popular Irish sports lounge in the heart of downtown Torrance is gearing up to open up once again. Keegan's Sports Lounge and Grill was abruptly shut down, like all restaurants, mid-March. Well, the owner quickly got into action and donated food they had on hand, along with toilet paper and other items to employees to take home upon the shutdown. Now, with county health orders allowing in-dining service again, staff are gearing up to reopen to the public tomorrow. Since the closure, they updated the inside and outside with fresh paint, power washed the patio, and gave the place a fresh new look. Business owner Angel Willett said, "We are so happy to reopen and can't wait to serve the community again. We're excited to be coming out of this pandemic with a brighter look into the future." Keegan's has a diverse menu from your good old American comfort food, sandwiches, burgers, soups, and salads. You won't want to miss their variety of pours as well. They will continue their all-day weekly specials that includes Taco Tuesday, Wingin' Wednesday, and Happy Hour Daily. Keegan's is located on Marcelina Avenue, right across from the post office. Their new hours are 11:30 a.m. to 10 p.m. daily. City of Torrance reminds the community that while restaurants, retail establishments, hair salons, and barbershops have all been allowed to reopen, many other sectors still remain closed. Movie theaters, bars, nail salons, gyms, and fitness centers considered more high risk still have not been allowed to reopen in California, as those sectors are included in Phase 3. The city's environmental quality officers are working with the business community to educate store owners on safety protocols in place for businesses that can reopen. Businesses in violation will be forced to shut down immediately. The city's Office of Economic Development and the Community Development Department has put together a back to business guideline to assist the business community. You can find that information at torranceca.gov/back-to-business. Well, today marks the 10th anniversary of the first time SpaceX's Falcon 9 blasted off. Falcon 9 is now the first orbital class rocket to be reused and the first commercial rocket to take human passengers to the International Space Station, as well as we all witnessed over the weekend. It was a decade ago that the rocket took its inaugural test flight. Since then, they've launched 84 times and has safely returned to Earth 45 times. 31 of those rockets have been recycled and flown again. Falcon 9's reusability revolutionized spaceflight, making it cheaper and more efficient. Well, if you're one of thousands who won't be part of a traditional graduation ceremony due to COVID-19, we want to celebrate you and your big milestone. Congratulations to Jacob Lee. He is a graduating senior at South High School. He enjoys reading, singing, and solving puzzles. He's headed to Rice University this fall and hopes to become an aerospace engineer and someday have a part in space exploration. Congratulations, Jacob. Whether it's a preschool promotion or college graduation and every milestone in between, send us your photo and let us know what school you are graduating from. We'll be sure to share it on our show. Email us at covid19today@torranceca.gov. Well, before we go, at the end of each program, we like to share stories from our community, feel-good pictures, images, and videos that remind us of how resilient our community is and reflects how Torrance truly cares. Well, during this time of civil unrest and uncertainty, we wanted to share one moment of unity that truly reflects how unique our community is here in Torrance. Several healthcare workers were grabbing coffee on their break and saw members of the Torrance Police Department. They asked if the police would join them in a prayer circle as hospital workers prayed for the safety of the officers who serve our community daily. Torrance Police thanked the community for continuing to help them meet these challenging times together. Now, if you have a great story or have pictures or videos you'd like to share or just want to say hello, please email us at covid19today@torranceca.gov. Stay informed by signing up at torranceca.gov/Torrance Alerts. Subscribe to City Cable's YouTube channel and be sure to like the city's Facebook page. That's our update for COVID-19 today. We hope you'll join us again tomorrow at 2 p.m. as Colleen Farrell helps kick off the weekend and bring you the latest updates. Be safe, stay healthy, and thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.